Kristine, I want to start with you first. You've said in previous interviews that when you're reading a script and deciding whether you want to be a part of a project, that there either has to be a challenge, a sense of fear, or a message that resonates with you. What was it about this script and character that hit home for you?
Oh, wow. Love the research. Wow, so many things. I mean, first and foremost, reading the book and having a conversation with Daniel and his intentions behind creating the movie, that's what got me totally invested and wanting to be a part of the conversation or creating a script that like has the conversations of pro and against eco-terrorism and is property destruction the right thing to do? Why is the right thing to do? If it's not, what, all these things, it does such a good job of having that conversation while unfolding in this very like heisty, a suspenseful way. So that just in it of itself, doing research in terms of the climate, and then for my character in particular, Lucas and I did a lot of like documentary watching on Western civilization and the punk scene, and I just wanted to make that as authentic as possible, so I could create like the full backstory. So I didn't know anything about the punk movement era, so that was really fun. So I guess just tons of education. It was very new for me in that sense, and working with Lucas, who's an amazing improviser, that was a challenge. He just like have to be on your toes, and I was stoked to have that experience.
Well, that perfect segue to the next question. But Lucas, Danny, Jordan, and Ariel created this space for the actors to improvise. How did that freedom and environment allow you to not only step into your character, but take ownership over him? And did you have a favorite line of yours that you improvised that wasn't part of the original script?
Favorite line that I improvised that wasn't part of the script is pee on me.
Everyone always laughs when that happens, when you say that, Lucas.
Pee on me or something about milk, and which is really weird because then I did season 4 of You, where I get peed on and have a line about drinking my mother's milk. So I think I really like put something into the universe. Yeah. Where that was, I really manifested pee and milk for my next roles. But yeah, I love improving. I'm a script supervisor's nightmare. I to try to throw everything away on the day and not follow any of the dotted I's or the crossed T's and throw everything out the window. And to have that opportunity to have a scene partner like Kristine, who's so present and responds and is down with the punches, and also Daniel and Ariella and Jordan, who allowed me the freedom to it. Because a lot of times, especially in TV, you're trying to incorporate your own improv and your own creativity, and it's like, thank you for your work, but please say what's on the page and hey, fucking shut up.
Kristine, you filmed this project during the pandemic and when there was a lot of uncertainty about the future, especially within this industry, which is an interesting parallel to what the characters are facing in this film. How were you able to channel everything that you're feeling at that time into your performance?
That's a good question. I mean, yeah, we just kind of gone through it, huh? I mean, we were still very lucky to be making the movie during the time we were. Being vulnerable and being able to tap into that was one. And I think having Lucas, who was kind of my rock during it, I felt very safe with him. So I felt like we could do that and expand on that. That's that's the most difficult thing I think about being a human, is the uncertainty going into that. So I think just tapping back into vulnerability as much as possible was the biggest thing for me, and not suppressing all those feelings. We went through a crazy thing together as a collective, so and we are going through a lot of crazy things as a collective, so we shouldn't forget about it.
That's a great answer. I also think it almost maybe prepared us, because I think that we were all so vulnerable. We prepared us for this movie because we're so vulnerable and got, we just had to roll with the punches, right? Like no one knew what was going on in the world. And I feel like Kristine and I, that vulnerability and just being like, we're going to surrender and just figure it out as we go and discover on the day, and trust. There was like a lot of trust that we had to have with each other, and trust with the film, and trust with Daniel, and just like, let's see what happens.
Lucas, throughout your career, especially in recent years, you've been able to show off your versatility and depth. How much do previous roles impact and influence the type of projects that you want to be a part of in the future? And what was it about Logan that you connected with?
Kevin, you are doing really good questions. And thank you. Thank you. I think for me, it's like Kristine, I want to be challenged. I want to do things that I haven't done before. Of course, we're in an industry where if you do one thing, suddenly you're getting asked to do the same thing 100 times afterwards. If you are known to be in sexual situations or be a free spirit, then suddenly you're getting every script sent to you where you're, you know, into kinky things. But you have to be like, okay, first of all, for me, I think it's like the filmmakers involved, the writing, and then the character, and doing something that feels at least like it's different enough and it's going to challenge me, and I'm scared, if I'm not scared, that I can pull it off. Or for me, for this movie, I am not well informed about the material. I'm not, you know, a musician, so I had to learn how to play guitar for a little bit, even though it got cut out of the movie and Kristine sang for the movie. And you know, we had the opportunity to learn about this subject that now I feel like I have a little bit of knowledge about, and can participate in the conversation about tactics and things that we can do to avert this climate apocalypse. Do you like that? I'm using it again.
You know, Kristine, music has played such a big role in the way that you prepare for different roles. What did you listen to get into Rowan's mindset?
Ooh, I had a playlist. I haven't listened to that playlist in a minute. What were we listening
I still have it. We were listening.
to?
Yeah, the Distillers. We listened to a lot of the Distillers. It was a female punk singer. We listened to Dead Kennedys, Sex Pistols, Blondie, which isn't really it's pop punk, but we danced every day in the trailer, in the makeup and hair trailer, to our pop punk playlist.
Yeah, I should revisit.
You sang a song. You learned that song.
I know, but you know, it is in the past.
Hey, I learned those chords. It was in the past. It hit the cutting room floor, but we did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
We did the damn thing.
Did the damn
Maybe
thing.
for the bonus features in the future, you know.
Yeah. Let's do
Because
it.
this is such an exciting time in the industry where we're getting to see new voices emerge. And Ariella, who got her start as an actor, but now has pivoted into writing and producing. And you also recently started to write yourself. Have you found that your work as a writer has now impacted the way that you approach your work on screen? What did you learn through this collaboration with Ariella and with Danny?
Such a good question. I think I have an even more immense respect for writers, even though as an actor, I like to kind of throw it all away and find stuff on the day, but I also have a crazy respect for the process of it. And I think maybe just honing in on my skills as a writer has made me realize the importance of every line and everything that you say and everything that's not said, the space in between what characters aren't saying, what we're hiding, what we're not, you know, putting to the surface. So I think they both inform each other, and they both have hopefully made me grow as an artist on the acting side and in the writing side. I don't answer your question at all, but
no, it did. That was a great answer. I got one final question for the two of you. You know, you've both worked on projects of all sizes. What is it about independent filmmaking that excites you both as creatives and storytellers?
I mean, Lucas said it earlier. I think it's just there's more space for, I feel like, discovery, and you can be more present, and usually everyone's on set for all the right reasons and we're all united, and there's just usually so much love around it. It's just an incredible experience. And sometimes, you know, with the big studios or other big productions, there's so much money involved and the pace is quicker, and sometimes it's just more fast paced. And I think with indies you get more time, I feel like, based on my own experience.
Yeah, maybe more like layered characters that, I mean, I'm just gonna hype up Kristine for a second. If you haven't seen Sharpstick and her crazy performance in the indie world, like those kind of characters I think just don't really exist in TV. And I think there's more nuance, but also more fleshed out and more honesty and more space for it too. And just go watch Kristine in that movie. She's so good.